TMI, every opinion counts.
All right, thank you so much. Still on the program this morning on ITV on independent television. And I did tell you that the countdown to 2019 election has since begun. Here in independent television, we've been discussing on issues and, of course, items that we educate you and also inform you as far as the election is concerned. Well, in Nigeria, we understand that there is an agency, the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is saddled with the responsibility of making sure that elections are conducted and also that to make sure that voters get their cards appropriately as at when due, and also to also make sure that they get the right card and to also participate in the election. But there is also an agency, the National Orientation Agency, that perhaps a lot of people have thoughts, or they may think that when it comes to election, they really don't have a responsibility to play. With us today, we are so privileged to have Barrister Mrs. Ose Agahon. She is an Assistant Director, Political, Civic Ethics and Values with the National Orientation Agency here in Edo State. Madam, you're welcome to this program this morning on ITV. Just like what I said, it appears that in the first place, how is Noah in Edo State? Let's start from there.
Noah is doing very well in Edo State.
It's doing very well in Edo State.
Doing very well. We still do our sensitization, awareness campaign on government programs and policies. We are doing very well.
Okay. Now, when we talk about election, perhaps this is not the first time that Nigeria is going to have an election. Talking about the 2019 election. Now, to what extent is NOAA really playing when it comes to issues of election?
We are preparing for 2019 election. Right now, the 18 local governments, we have our chief orientation and mobilization officer. They have been going around wards and villages, telling people to come out to be registered. And you know, it's not everybody that can register. You have to attain the age of 18 before you can register. This has been going on for quite some time. In fact, by next week, we'll be at Umunde local government area for sensitization visit and advocacy visit.
But the impression is that at times you guys are not on the ground, that it appears you're just lying down fallow. Is that correct?
It's not correct. If we are not, if we are lying down fallow, what's our chief orientation officer doing? They go from villages to village, they go from house to house. They don't expect to just see us everywhere like that, the way they are expecting. We go to the grassroots.
Yeah, but your impact is not felt.
It is felt, it is felt. When you go to the grassroots, you ask.
It's only in the grassroots. What about the urban centers? We
still do that. Like in Benin City, we still have orientation officers in Igor, in Oredo, in Kobaoha. They are doing their work too.
Okay. When we talk about the business of orientation now, what about the political parties? Don't you have any business with them? Is it only for the electorates?
We have. Our chief orientation officer, they go to the party's chairman time after time to talk to them on the election. The main thing we talk about is they should avoid violence, thuggery, talk to their people. We want this election to be conducted peacefully. That is it.
So outside, peaceful election, and also the need to shun violence and all that, which other ways are you people really also participating in preparing Nigerians for this forthcoming election?
You know, right now we have the voters registration, which we end around December. There are some persons that have not been registered. We go to them through our chief orientation officers in the local government that they should be registered. Those that have not gotten to 18 years then, but now they are now 18, they should come out and be registered. Those that have transferred from one location to another to us to go, can change to another, to the location that you are in now. And those that are, I think we are doing well.
But you will say you are doing well, but the impression outside is that your impact is not felt. So how do you merge this together? Because I grew up in Benin City and perhaps in Edo State. I remember those days in the early 80s when elections are around the corner. You hear the national orientation, you hear their jingles on television, and at times they even employ town criers in the suburbs, in rural settings and all that. But these days we don't find them.
They are there. If you go to the markets, you will see our officers there. They are there. You go to motor parks, they go. They talk to people like the PVC now that we have, so that a lot of persons have not collected. We have gone there to tell them, come and pick your PVCs. We are there. You are in ITV here.
But I don't feel
you are not,
that's what I'm saying.
You are not in the marketplace. You are not. We even go as far as churches to relate our message. That is our job. We know how to do it better.
All right. I'll just let you know, viewers out there, that this program is actually we can take comments on our Facebook, portal on www.facebook.com/ITVRadioNG, and you drop your comment so that you can also have an impact. Perhaps when you drop your comment, you will either corroborate what Barrister Mrs. Oseagahan is saying or not, that Noah is everywhere. Madam, let's look at the issue of orientation one more time as it relates to Nigeria. What do you think is really the major problem, in orientating Nigerians towards civic responsibilities, national issues, and all that?
The problem we have is that some persons, they don't just want to change. They have their mindset about things. When you talk to them, you tell them, this is what the government is saying, this is how it's supposed to be, they don't want to listen to you.
Has this always been the case?
Yes. Yes. They have their mindset. We have tried in that aspect. By tomorrow now, we are having a program in my office which we are bringing youths together from various secondary schools, because we feel catching them young is better. By the time we start sensitizing them on their civic responsibility, and of course, they do civic education in school, I think it will go a long way to impact on them.
Yeah, I just asked you if it has always been the case that you've always had issues with trying to orientate Nigerians. Just like what I said a while ago, that earlier than this time, you could feel the impact of the National Orientation Agency, perhaps in the early 80s in this country. But today, the impression is that you really don't feel the impact. So I would say, then I ask, has that always been the problem? It appears that there seems to be a problem somewhere. Either your attitude towards work, that's the NOA, or the response of Nigerians towards what you orientate them with. So what exactly is the problem?
I think we are doing our job. I think it's the response of Nigerians. Nigerians. Once they have a mindset, to change it, it takes some time. You have to work hard to do that, and that is what we are doing right now.
Okay, let us look at some of the methods that you said you people employ, that you go around schools and you also educate the political parties and all that. Now, what about the need for us to have this patriotism? Because some people have said that the issue of orientation, national orientation, has to really start from patriotism. Do you really educate Nigerians need to be patriotic?
We do. We do. And I think the country has done that. We have the national anthem available to us. Ask many Nigerians if they can even relate the national item. If you ask them, they will say some of them, they might start from the beginning and end at the middle, then slot in 1 or 2 tenths. If we can learn that national item very well, I think it will help us to be patriotic.
Okay, the issue of corruption has also been a major problem in Nigeria, and perhaps as we gradually move towards the 2019 election, for most electorates, it's going to be an upheaval task for them, for them to really know which XY leader that is not corrupt. And of course, if you also look at your responsibility as an orientation agency, it behoves on NOA to also orientate Nigerians on the need not to be corrupt. But corruption has been a major problem. So would you say that NOA has really succeeded in this manner, or is failing?
It's not failing. We are on it.
No, but we still have issue of corruption.
We are on it. We are still talking to them. Even from when during voting, you see the way the voters even collect money from some of the politicians, you know. So it has been there, and we are trying. We will put up programs that will change Nigeria's mind from being corrupt. It's not a day's job. It has been there for a very long time. So you cannot say it's just Noah will do the job. We have Ministry of Information too that will still help us. Even you, me, the teachers in the school, everybody should help to fight this corruption.
What would you say is your greatest challenge in doing your job?
My greatest challenge in doing my job is as an orientation officer, as an assistant director. Before now, we used to have vehicles for NOAA officers to move around. If we can get vehicles to move around in the 18 local government, each officer having a vehicle, it will help in a long way.
So since you have that as an issue now, is that not going to thwart your efforts towards the 2019 election?
And what we do right now,
because the reason why I'm asking this question, because you know what we do in the media is we rely on the people. We get information from what people are saying, and of course we ask our questions. If you go out there, the impression is that the National Orientation Agency is really not on ground, because there are indices to either say they are doing their job or not. Take, for example, the issue of corruption. For some countries whereby you have such an agency, they go the extra mile to really orientate citizens against corruption and all that. But in Nigeria, it is the opposite that we have. Corruption is on the high side, and of course you have agency like National Orientation Agency, and citizens' apathy towards election is on the high side. And of course you still have the NOA. So how would you say that NOA is on ground? That's what I'm really trying to get here, particularly as it relates to 2019 election.
We will get there. That corruption issue will be phased out. We will get there. I told you before, I said it's not a day's job, that we just fight corruption today, corruption will go. We will get there gradually. That's what I told you before. It's not just national orientation. I'm repeating myself again. You have a part to play too.
Of course, we do our own part. Your own part is the issue here.
For the issue of vehicles, like you asked, you know, you asked that and you asked another question. What we do right now, we have our vehicles we use. We use it to go around. The comos in the 18 local governments, they use their own vehicles too. That's why I said if vehicles are made available to us, we will.
No, madam, let's get this straight. Are you saying that NOA Edo State has enough items to work with? Is that what we're saying?
We have.
You have as it is now?
We have.
So are you going to...
In the 18 local government area, we have megaphones. We normally use megaphones to talk to the people. We have.
So as it relates to next year's election, 2019 election?
We are preparing. We are inviting you. We have a program tomorrow now.
No, we don't have to. You don't have to
it's one of the preparation towards the 2019 election.
All right. So what about issue that has to do with, people not collecting their PVCs and all that? Because for some people, they feel that, okay, if I need, all that I need the PVC for is for a kind of an identity. Now, do you really go the extra mile to really educate, Nigerians? I've asked that question 1,000 times, and I'm going to keep on asking it. Now, do you go the extra mile to ask Nigerians that, okay, outside kind of form of identity, you need this item, for voting and for some other duties? Do you do that?
We have done that. We have done that. We have told them to go and collect their PVC, that they need it in banks and other things that they will do. Even traveling out, they need it. We have always told them. And many of them have gone to collect. I think before the end of the year, more will be collected by the owners.
Well, recently, the outgone resident electoral commissioner of Inec Edo State, Mr. Ofo Efanga, raised the fear that a huge amount of voters' card, permanent voters' card, have not been collected in Edo State. So how do we match that with what you are saying now, if really NOAA is on the ground and doing their job?
Maybe he has his reasons.
He can't.
Yeah, because we have been going from January this year. We have been going round that voters should go and collect their PVC. I don't know how we will do it again. We have gone round. We've gone to the market. We've gone to both parks, to churches, to schools, that they should come and collect their PVC. And most times, you see some students, when they are here, they register. Or coppers, they register. But once they move to another location, they don't collect their PVC. So that is the reason why some PVCs are lying there. Some have gone from the state to another location. How to get them is quite difficult.
Okay. So you feel that the problem is really not your own problem?
It's not our problem. We have done our best. We have done the job. We know how to do well. I think the people have to go and collect their PVC.
Okay. All right, viewers out there, in case if you're still watching, the program is This Morning on ITV, and we are looking at the National Orientation Agency and, of course, the Independent National Electoral Commission as it relates to the 2019 elections. And we are looking at their responsibilities, their duties, so that electorates out there will really have their impact as far as this election is concerned. And Barrister Mrs. Ose Agahon, who is an Assistant Director of Political, Civic, Ethics and Values with the National Orientation Agency, Edo State, is right here with us. We are expecting Mr. Francis Ikbefwa, Head Voter Education, Inec Edo State, so that he can join us and also bear his mind on some of the issues that we're looking at here. Remember, I said that you can actually make your comments on the Facebook portal on www.facebook.com/ITVRadioNG, and so that your comments can also count on this show. Now, Madam, tell us, in trying to do your job, your responsibilities with other agencies. You have the security agencies. You have some other paramilitary, security agencies. So how is the relationship like?
It has been very good. It has been quite cordial. The police have assisted NOAA to do their job too. The INEC has partnered with us for a very long time. The civil defense, the same thing. I think we are all doing very well.
You keep on saying you think you're all doing very well, but and I'll keep on telling you that issues on ground doesn't say that you are doing well. So I don't know what. Anyway, we are going to have reason to bring you back here on this program so that maybe by then we'll be able to tell you that you said this and this is on the right thing. Well, we'll take a short pause now.
And it will be the right thing.
No, you can't. If it's not the right thing, I'll tell you that it's not the right thing. If it's not the right thing, I'll tell you that it's not the right thing.
Because we are in the field.
We
are in the field.
You say so.
There are things we do you don't even see.
Things like what?
You are here.
Things like what?
You are here. We are there.
That's what things like what?
You said you are going to bring me in another program. I'm expecting that.
No, why don't you say it now?
No, I'm expecting that.
Okay, until then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll take a short pause now. Still on the program this morning on ITV, looking at the National Orientation Agency and, of course, the Independent National Electoral Commission as it relates to the 2019 election. We are still expecting Mr. Francis Ikmefua, Head Voter Education, Edo State. Madam, thank you so much for joining us on this program.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.